Aloha. My name is Noeal, and I'm going to create these videos for the express purpose of helping women and all those who love them. And there will just be mostly positive aspects to my videos. And just a little background. I was born in Boise, Idaho, but spent most of my life in Hawaii. A lot of my messages will be on relationships, because I know women especially, being sensitive, emotional, when a relationship fails, we believe it's our fault. It's not the case. So when I moved to Hawaii, I met a wonderful man, and he became my future husband. His name was P.E. Kalama Boiser. We had many adventures, and I'll get into that at a later time. He died of cancer about 4 years ago, and I did caregiving for 10 years for him. But when my first husband I married when I was 19, I was a virgin. He's now in prison for life for trafficking young girls on Craigslist and running from the law and other things. He was truly demon possessed. He would rape me at knife point. He would smother me with pillows. His eyes would roll back in his head. When I would come to the house, I'd search everywhere. He wasn't there, but he was able to tell me exactly where I was and what I was doing. And we were married for 4 years, but only together for 2. I had a nervous breakdown after that. And I'm resilient, so I recovered. My second husband I met in Hawaii. I don't even like to call him a husband. Even worse than the first. So I was with him for 10 long, brutal years. And on our wedding night, because I was nervous, of course, and I locked the door, shut the door in the hotel, he took the door off the hinges, and he said, not only will you never lock a door again, you'll never shut a door. He wouldn't even let me buy my own lingerie. He wouldn't let me take walks. He was so controlling, manipulative. He beat my breasts. He kicked my pregnant stomach. And, to this day, my oldest daughter's afraid of men. And I know it's her father. In public, he ran his hand up her leg when she had a dress on when she was a teenager. And I whispered to him, if I ever catch you doing that again, I'll slit your throat, and I meant it. So I don't believe in divorce, but I did divorce him because he started beating my children. And he kidnapped them on the phone. I'd hear them crying. And I said, what are you doing to my girls? He said, I don't care about these girls as long as I get control over you. And my third husband, P. Kalama, he was lovely. He would watch me from his little house on the hill in binoculars, and he said, what's that haole doing, fishing like a native? And eventually he asked me to be part of his akuli fishing team. And I always look forward when I'd hear the conch shell blowing, run across the beach, jump in the canoe, go out, and he would throw a net, and then he would jump in and chase them into the net. What experiences I have had. I've always said, and I will share with you now, there's always many ways to think about one particular thing. And so choose wisely. Why not just think on the positive? So eventually he asked me to be a member of his 4-person canoe trip. And he, very gravely said, you're a mother of 2 young children. And this is extremely dangerous. No one does this without escort boat or compass. And the other, like Hokulele and stuff, they're huge canoes. And they always have escort boat and compass and everything. modern. He does it without any of these things. We used a canoe cover. And so I'm like listening very, as soon as he turned, I'm like, yes, I'm like so excited. So we trained, and, I got all buffed out, and we left from Makena, Maui, and we spent 2 days there preparing the canoe. We had pule prayer, and first stop was Molokini, a small atoll. And we only took poi rice, umi balls that I had made, and we fished along the way. We were supposed to eat native food, so I'll discuss that more later. But next, we went to Kaho'olawe, the Forbidden Island, and we pulled the canoe up underneath the cliffs. So the Navy who patrolled the cliffs wouldn't see us because there's unexploded ordnances. I went up along the coastline gathering opihi, what the boys slept. And, by the way, the boys, of course, Pikalama trusted me, but the boys on the trip, this white woman, and, she's a woman, so forth, they, thought I was going to, panic and risk their lives. After, 24 hours, they began respecting me because I'm fearless, like Pikalama. So 2 nights there, I made opihi soup in tin cans that I found, and then 2 Molokai and Lanai. We were between the 2 islands. It's a very narrow stretch of water, and we were in 30-foot seas. I'd look back and think, I'm going to die. I don't care. I'm just having the adventure of my life. It truly was the adventure of my life. Then to Oahu, Pokai Bay, 2 nights in Oahu. People would gather around the canoe. We slept on a different beach every night. We only got 1 to 3 hours sleep a night, and I learned to doze off when I was paddling. I had to. And so people would gather around the canoe, and Pikalama would tell them what a spiritual experience it was. And even National Geographic would, they contacted me and asked when we were leaving. It was forbidden. It was spiritual. And then between Oahu and Kauai is a longer stretch. If you miss the island, you end up dead in Japan. And Pikalama asked me to steer while they slept, and great honor, just a great honor. I said, but Pikalama, how am I going to know where to go? There's no islands. So see that cloud? I go, yeah. He goes, just follow that cloud. And I'm like, okay. Well, somehow I made it, and there were bonfires all along the beach. And so we didn't, end up in Japan dead. And when we got onto shore, all I could think of, people were hugging me, and they're drunk, and, just loud, and they smelled. I just wanted the solitude and the peace. So I will continue with more videos. I hope you enjoy this. Please like and share with your friends. Aloha no.